Good morning, boys and girls. Today is Wednesday, April 15th, 2026. It is day 3 of our life cycle of a chicken unit. We are going to review every day the slides that we've already talked about, the vocabulary words, the pictures, and what has been going on inside the egg. So on day 1, which was Monday of this week, Monday, April the 13th, we learned 3 new words. We learned incubator, which is a machine, right, that tries to take the place of the mama hen. It creates the same environment inside that's up underneath the mama hen when she sits on top of the eggs. So that incubator controls the temperature, how hot and how cold it is inside there, and the humidity level of how much water is inside that machine. We learned that a chicken is a kind of bird. Chickens can fly. They do not fly up way, way tall, but they can fly up in the trees at night as protection from predators. As we continue to go along, we're going to find out what types of predators chickens have. What other animals like to eat chickens? Be thinking about that. Also on Monday, we learned the definition of egg. An egg is an oval shape that has a yolk, and a chicken may grow inside of it. You can have lots of different kinds of eggs that come from different birds and other animals, right? All right, so on day 1, this is what was happening inside the egg. The head, brain, and eyes began to form. On day 2, which was yesterday, we learned 3 new vocabulary words. Did you use these in your writing yesterday? Did you talk about a hen? A hen is a female chicken. We talked about how a hen looks very different. Their body structure looks very different than a rooster, right? So we learned a little bit about how a hen's body sits, how her tail feathers look different, how her comb and her wattle look different than a rooster. We talked about how his body shape is different. His tail feathers are different. His comb, his wattle are all different. Even their personalities are different. So did you use the word hen and rooster in your writing yesterday? Also, we talked about a science word we've used all year long, observe, which means to watch carefully. Yesterday, we saw the first real little bitty growth inside. And look at all what is happening. Even though it looks like a small little bitty amount, look at what was happening yesterday. The veins and heart began to form. The heart begins to beat. My students are writing a very hilarious story called Let Me Out. Yesterday they talked about what it would be like if they were inside the egg and all of a sudden they heard a heart begin to beat. Da-doom, 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 da-doom. And they wondered what that sound would be. They wrote some really funny stories. Now today we're going to learn 2 new vocabulary words, embryo and rotate. We talked about rotating a little bit yesterday when we looked at the incubator, and we talked about how the incubator has these yellow shelves inside, little trays that rotate the eggs back and forth and back and forth. About once an hour they do that so that the embryo inside the egg doesn't get stuck to one side and then is not able to get on the other side. So we want to make sure that they are not getting stuck on one side, that we rotate them back and forth so they don't get stuck on one side. The embryo means the earliest stages of development in an animal. On day 3, let's see what's happening to the embryo. This is the embryo. This is the part that is becoming the baby chicken. Today, the beak, wings, and legs begin to form. Today in your writing, I want you to use the word embryo. I want you to use the word rotate. Now today, remember, we are writing a narrative story using real information, right? So this is what your page looks like today. On day 3, my beak, wings, and legs begin to form. I believe. Oh, you know what that reminds me of? A song that says, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Can you think about that? Isn't that funny? So we're going to be talking about if they had wings. If your embryo grew wings today, what do you think that chicken would say? I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. So that might be something really funny that you put into your writing today about growing wings. But remember the two vocabulary words you're trying to put in your writing today? Embryo and rotate. So be thinking about how you can add those sentences. One thing we say in my classroom when we think we're finished is we don't say, I'm done, I'm finished, I wrote my one sentence. We say, I can always do more. So be thinking about another sentence that you could write. If you finish this one, if you write, I believe I can fly, you could write another sentence. I believe I can touch the sky. You can say the embryo wants to fly. That uses our word embryo. You can also use the word rotate that we were talking about. Miss White rotates the eggs, or the incubator rotates the eggs. You want to put that information into your story. Okay, so boys and girls, today is Wednesday, April 15th. It is day 3 of our life cycle of a chicken unit. We have 18 days left in our 21-day cycle, and our eggs are rocking and rolling. How exciting!